Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Joe Show with the Ashley's Company. Yeah. So yesterday I had a goal of in between 10 to 15,000. I sold about 3.5, almost 4,000 yesterday. I almost had a way bigger sell, but it turned out that I had to split it because, well, it's the right thing to do. So let's talk about the first customer I had for that day, because I had 3 customers yesterday. I sold 2 of the 3 I had. The first one was really hard because the guy came in and he needed to use the restroom, and he needed to use it kind of urgently. You could tell. And truth of it is I think this guest might have came in to just use the restroom. Might have been one of those guys that said, "Oh, I need to find a bathroom. I need to find a bathroom now." And then happens to go, "Hey, this is a furniture company. I bet they have a restroom." So, he came into the Ashley's Company, and I greeted him, gave him a nice, warm greeting, and the first thing he said is, "First things first, do you have a restroom?" So I took him into the restroom, and it was being occupied. And I noticed that a couple minutes had gone by, and this guy was starting to shake a leg. His legs were starting to shake. So I was feeling a little bad for the guy at that time. I felt like, whoa, this guy's got to go. So I took him to another restroom. And I'm pretty sure he appreciated that. That was probably why I took him to the other restroom, just so I could show him that, I'm here to work for him regardless of what it is, And so he finishes using the restroom. He gets out. We start chit-chatting, and he said he was looking for a sectional. And we walk around the store and we look at a couple sectionals, and he got a phone call because I guess he was at work. He was at work at that yesterday at that time, and he got a phone call, and he told somebody, "Yeah, I'll be there right now. I'm like 5 minutes away." And what I said, okay, maybe this guest really did come in to just use the restroom, but you know what? At the end of the day, a guest coming in to use the restroom is just as good as any other customer. I mean, that's the way I look at it. That's the way I have to look at it. You got to make something happen, people. You got to sometimes make something happen out of nothing, and that's sales. Now you can't always just get, "Hi, we're looking for a sofa and love seat powered." Oh, okay, great. Right this way. It's not always going to be that easy. So that was the first customer. All right. Now, did I get his information? No. Did I try? Yes. Could I have done better? Probably. So that's what I'm going to do for the next one that, happens to come my way. I'm going to work on how could I get their information better, okay? Now, the second customer came in, and what's funny, guys, is I'm a new guy. I am in training myself, okay? And we got these new guys. We're super understaffed right here at Lathrop, California, if anyone's looking for a job. We got these new guys, and they just started. They've only been there like 4 or 5 days, and they both asked me, "Hey, can we shadow you?" I think what it was is they seen me and how I work with the guests, so they wanna shadow me and follow me around, and learn and see what I say and whatnot, and I have no problem doing that. I love showing people, helping people, whether it's a customer or just regular life, or or a coworker. I love helping people. That's probably why I like sales, because some people call it a job. I call it life. So I'm, the first sale I'm having, this guy, he was following me around. He was shadowing me. Cool guy, just started with us. He's gonna do good. And he actually, he's in the military. The kid who was shadowing me, he was in the military. Okay, and the customer we had was in the military as well. He's an ex-Marine. So the guy who was shadowing me asked him about something about the military, and you know what? That created an instant connection between the person who was shadowing me and the customer. A strong one too. That was, I told the guy too. I told him, "Hey man, if you could do that with every customer that you get, you'll be fabulous. You'll do amazing here." Because once he brought up that military. The guy was wearing a military sweater, the customer. So once the guy who was shadowing me said, "Oh, hey, yeah, that's cool. I know about that branch," and he mentioned the branch that he was in, and and they both knew what they were talking about. So that just created a super strong bond, especially that one. It's like brothers in arms, you know, brothers and brothers. You know, God bless America, right? So, so that was cool. That was, once he did that, I felt like that sale was done. You know, let me explain something, guys. You could have such a, if you can have such a strong common ground, like such a strong one, that, you know, you guys just both know exactly what you guys are talking about, the sale is pretty much done. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like, dude, we both, you know, we were brothers in arms. You know, we were both in Bravo, unit whatever. You know, what's up? You know, I seen it too, man. It's just, find the common ground, people. As a salesman, I am a good salesman. I am not the best. I try to be better every day. But you know what? If I can give you any advice, it's find that common ground. And that's what that guy did yesterday. And I was happy to see that from him. You know, I learned myself. I mean, I already knew that, but it was nice to see it and get a refresher and whatnot. So that person bought a $1,200 bed frame, just a bed frame, $1,200, okay? So then I got this other customer. His name was Chris. This guy's cool. He's a security worker. He works out in Pleasanton, California. This individual, okay, so he came in, and then, you know, I said hello, and I greeted him and introduced him to the company and myself. And he walked in and told me, you know what? Yeah, I was here earlier. And I was like, okay, great. So who are you working with? So that way I could, you know, get them for you. And he goes, I don't know. And he didn't have a card and he didn't have anything. So I already knew that this is probably not going to end up that pretty. I mean, I could just, you know, people take things personal sometimes, basically. So let me tell you how it turns out. So we're walking, me and the customer are walking, and as we're walking, the customer tells me, hey, we walked by these two salesmen that are standing in the middle of the store area, and they're standing at a table talking. We're walked by, and the customer tells me, oh, that was the guy who was helping me earlier. He just answered a couple questions, exactly is what he said. And then I was like, oh, okay, great, yeah, let me get him for you. And then he told me, no, it's fine. No, it's fine. You can help me. And that's exactly what the guy said. So when he said that to me, I was like, oh, ooh. Well, and guys, I really did think about telling him, you know what? Well, we have a, you know, just a, you know, I don't like to be that guy that says, oh, shoulda, coulda, woulda, but it was just a tough situation. Like, it's a tough one, you know. Yeah. You know, because here's the deal. Here's the deal, guys. If I work with a customer and they come back and they didn't ask for me, or they didn't have a card, then it's not mine. You know, even if I see them walking in later, maybe they didn't like me.